welcome to your second mobility video. For this video, you will just need a block. If you've got one is ideal. If you haven't got a block, don't worry about it. A book or something like that is fine. It's something that you're able to balance on your hand, but that if you drop, it isn't going to get damaged or, you know, break or anything like that. So a block is ideal because it can be thrown around, and something about that size. So grab that and come back to me. Okay, so we're going to start with making sure our alignment is really good here. So have your feet hip width apart. Remember, we're looking for the bony projections on the front of the pelvis and we're lining our feet up with those. Try and get the outside edges of your feet as straight as you can, and then back your weight up so that your weight is through your heels. Finding a neutral pelvis here, and that means that you're not tucking your bottom under and you're not sticking it right out. You're kind of halfway between those 2 points where your hip bones and pubic bone are on the same level and you've not got one forwards of the other. Let your rib cage relax down here. Nice and wide through your shoulders and chest. Arms are down by your sides, looking into the distance and thinking about growing tall through the top of your head. Just take a few breaths here. Really deep breath in. And then exhale, letting go of any tension. Notice anywhere that you're gripping and holding, let it go. Do a couple more breaths here. One more time. We're going to start with some shoulder circles. Bring your shoulders forwards. Bring your shoulders up towards your ears. Take your shoulders back and pull them down. So they're kind of really exaggerated shoulder circles. Can you focus on your shoulder blades moving in your back? So you're not just thinking about the top of your shoulder here, you're thinking about those shoulder blades. How about if you reverse that and go the other way? Again, you're just trying to get as much movement there as you can, and we're just waking everything up here. All right, let it go. I'm going to take our arms out to the front now. I'm going to do stop hands, so bringing your palms up at the front. And then shoulders relax down away from your ears. We're going to open the arms out to the side. We're going to keep a slight bend in the elbow, and then bring your arms back into centre. Let's do that again. Open arm. And bring it back in. Take your arms as far back as you can without lifting your ribs and arching your back. 2 more. And then we're just going to lower those arms down a little bit. So let's come down. Still just keeping that little slight bend. Shoulders stay down, rib cage stays down. Last one. I'm going to take the arms up this time, so instead of being straight ahead, they're going to come up a little bit, and again, open out. Shoulders, make sure that they aren't sneaking up around your ears. Alright, and then just lowering your arms down, just give your shoulders a little shake out and just let go of anything that you were holding on to there. Take your arms out to the side. Let's do our little stop hands here. Pulling the fingers towards you. Spread your fingers wide and press your palm of your hand away. Soft elbow and reach. This is a little nerve stretch here. Might feel a little bit tingly, might feel a little bit strange. And then we're going to let the hand drop so that your fingers point down towards the floor, and then again up towards the ceiling. Down towards the floor and up towards the ceiling. Let's just do a couple more of those. And then we're going to relax the arms down. And again, just give your shoulders a little circle and just gently turning your head side to side. We're going to bring the arms forwards now. We're going to have one arm on top of the other and bring your hands around your back to give yourself a hug. Now I want you to see if you can just hook your fingers into the inside edge of your shoulder blade. So you might just be able to find that inside edge of your shoulder blade and just hook your fingers there. Let your shoulders relax down away from your ears. So notice if they're up around your face, and hold here. Take a few breaths. And it might feel nice to rock here. So keeping your lower body still, you're just going to gently allow your body to rock side to side. So you're giving you a little bit more of a stretch through your upper back and shoulders. If that doesn't feel good to you, you can absolutely just stay still. It's just about what's stretching the bits that you need to have stretched, really. Okay, we're going to let that go. Notice which arm's on top because we want to make sure we do the other side. And then we're going to just release the arms and let them just swing down. Let's do the same on the other side, so other arms on top this time. Bring your hands around, again give yourself a little hug, hook your fingers onto the inside edge of your shoulder blades. If you can reach, it might be completely different on this side. Let your shoulders relax down away from your ears and just take a few breaths. If it feels good and you want to, you can add that little upper body rocking side to side. Alright, and then we're going to let it go and again just swing your arms. So grab your block, your cushion, your book, whatever you've got to use, and we're going to pop it onto the flat of your hand. So I don't want you gripping it and using your fingers to hold onto it, it's just going to balance on the flat of your hand. Okay, and then shoulders relaxed and down. We're going to bring that arm across and then take it out to the side. So we're just seeing how much movement we've got through our shoulder there. This is called pizza delivery. You're imagining that you're offering a tray of pizza out to everybody. And notice as you take your arm out to the side, if your whole body's wanting to go with it. So try and keep the rest of your body still as you open that arm out. How far back can you take that arm? Can you go a little bit higher? Bringing it across, taking it out. How about people that are behind you? Can't go back that far. We're going to bring that arm through. Can you go under your arm and take that arm back behind you? Bringing that back again. So we're going to go out as far as we can that way. We're going to bring the arm through. It's going to go underneath and then out behind you. Let's try that on the other side. So again, just balance it on your hand, taking that arm out. As far as it will go, is it the same on this side? Does your whole body want to go? Just playing with that movement. How far out can it go on this side? Should we take it up a little bit higher? What's your range like higher up? If you drop it, it doesn't matter. That's why, as I don't have anything that's going to be very breakable. All right, how far back can you go out? And then let's do that little under your arm to reach behind you and come back. So you might notice that one side of your body is much easier than the other. Ooh, you might getting caught on you. Maybe you need to move your body around a little bit to get that arm through. Okay, let's go back to our first side. We're going to add a little bit more movement this time. So still balancing it on the flat of your hand. Think about the thumb side of your hand and we're going to follow the thumb. We're going to take it out to the side and then we're going to lift it up. We're going to bring it across the top of your head. Follow your thumb as it comes across the top of your head. So your arm is kind of up and over. Can you bring your arm back out to the side? Like we're offering that pizza behind. And then we're going to bend the arm and bring it through back to the front to your start position. So we're following the thumb. We're going to do that a few times. So take it out to the side, lift it up, bring it up over your head, bring it across, down the front. It's going to come back through and back to your start position. Let's do one more that way. Take it out, up, overhead, down across the front, and around. And back to your start position. Let's try that on the other side. So again, balance it on your hand, following your thumb out to the side. It's going to come up, it's going to come across the top of your head, down at the front, and then we need to get it back into that start position. So we're going to have to bring that hand around and open up. Notice if your fingers are trying to grip. Do it again. Follow the thumb out, up, overhead, down at the front, and then we're going to come around and back to your start. Let's do one more time. Sometimes the more you think about these things, the harder it is. So perhaps if you just start to let the movement flow a little bit, it's not quite as hard. So you might notice this is a much more tricky side for me to do. Notice on yourself. We're going to go back to the first side. We're going to do it in the reverse order this time. So balance your block or your book on your hand, we're going to follow the little finger this time. So we're going to come through, out behind you, we're going to lift it up, it's going to come across the front, over your head, down and back around to your start position. Do that again, through. So you might find, lift it up, through the front, overhead, and around. One way is much easier than the other maybe. Let's try that on the other side. So following your little finger, so it's going to come through first, up across the front, overhead, and around. So under first, front, overhead, oops, and around. So this is a little bit easier for me to go this way on this tricky side. Okay. Just give your shoulders a little circle, just turn your head side to side. So this is it's kind of a fun way to get more mobility in through your shoulders, because while you're thinking about not dropping your block and can you get your hand around, you're not thinking about all of the movements you need to do to mobilise and use your shoulders. So it's kind of a fun way to get some movement in there. What I want you to do this time is to do it really slowly and notice if you're having to move your body. So as your arm's coming through, are you having to kind of shift your body to allow space for that to come through? And just notice how much you're moving your body. So if you've got a lot of tension and tightness through your shoulder and it's not able to do these range of movements very well, you're hitting onto yourself because it's just not going to go there. Your body will adapt to still accomplish the same movement by moving other parts. And that tends to be a problem with shoulders, that we lose the range of movement at the shoulders, and because we don't have that anymore, your body is so clever, it will then start to lift the rib cage, and that's when we start to use other body parts, creating wear and tear on the body because they're doing work that they're not designed to do. So balance your block on your hand. We're going to follow the thumb first. We're just going to do one in each direction, super slow. So take it out to the side, bring it up. It's going to come up and over your head. Notice any movement. Are you leaning anywhere? Bring it down across the front. Take it out to the side. Now this is going to be where most people will notice a little bit of movement and bring it through. Did you have to lean forwards? Did you have to shift to the side? Let's try it little finger side. So follow the little finger. Do you have the range of movement to bring that through without having to shift to the side? Out to the side. It's going to come up, it's going to come overhead, and then all the way back to your start position. Try it on the other side. Useful to do it in front of a mirror so that you can see if you're moving, because you might not think that you are, and then when you see yourself you can be like, oh my goodness. Follow the thumb, out to the side, up, over your head, down at the front. It's going to come through. Watch me on this side, how much I'm having to try not to let my body just take it out to the side. Let's go a little finger way this time. Under, out, to the front, up, overhead, and back to your start position. So that's just, like I say, a really fun way of getting some more movement and some shoulder mobility in there. It could be your new party piece, who knows. We're going to come down onto the floor now. So coming down onto the floor, you're going to lie down on your side. This next movement is called the crocodile, and it's great for getting rotation through the waist, for breaking up the tension between your pelvis and your rib cage. Also great for stretching the shoulders, the upper chest, the upper back, and your arms. If you feel that you need something under your head to support you, feel free to grab a folded towel, a pillow, anything that you've got handy. But we're going to lie down on our side. Have your knees bent, knees one on top of the other, and then have your bottom arm out, palm faces up, and then your top arm is just going to rest on top of there. Now, if it feels okay for you to have your head down onto the floor, it's actually a really good neck stretch for you. We tend to really limit the range of movement we have at the neck because when we lay down, we have cushions propping us up all the time. So our neck never really gets a huge range of movement here. If you can do it and it feels okay, do it here. Okay, we're going to reach that top arm forwards. We're going to start to take that arm up towards the ceiling, reaching your fingertips long. Now let your head follow your hand if that feels okay for you. We're going to start to take that arm back behind us, twisting through your waist. Knees are going to stay anchored down on the floor as you open your arm all the way out. Just go to your maximum position here. Hold. Take some deep breaths, so you're not holding your breath. So don't go so far that you can't breathe and you can't speak. Couple more breaths, knees are down. And when you're ready, we're going to start to slowly bring the arm up, reaching up towards the ceiling and coming all the way back to close the crocodile's mouth. We're going to do that 2 more times here. So when you're ready, reach that arm forwards. Reach that arm up towards the ceiling, allowing your rib cage to twist away from your pelvis, allowing your waist to twist. Knees stay down, open up, head just goes wherever is comfortable. Now on this second time, you might get a little bit more movement here. Hold for a couple of breaths. See if you can let go of anything that you're holding. So if you're creating tension by pulling your shoulders up to your ears, can you let that go? And when you're ready, start to slowly bring the arm all the way back up and over. We're going to do one more time like this. When you're ready, reach that arm again. Reach it up towards the ceiling, trying to keep your knees anchored into the floor, twisting your upper body away. Open out. Third time, should be a lot easier. Should maybe get a little bit more. Couple of breaths. And when you're ready, start to slowly bring that arm all the way back up and close the crocodile's mouth. Just roll yourself onto your back now. Bring your knees into your chest. Give your knees a little hug and let's just rock gently side to side here. Just a little release for your back, just getting rid of any tension that you may have created there. We're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So roll onto your other side. I'm just going to switch sides so that I'm still facing the same way. Again, arms reach out in front, legs are bent, and knees are anchored down onto the floor. Reach that top arm forwards as you inhale, reaching it up towards the ceiling. Allow your head to follow your hand as you rotate your body and open out to your maximum position. Again, making sure that you can breathe here and you can still speak. It might be hugely different one side to the other, so just making note of that. And when you're ready, start to slowly bring that arm up and over. And close the crocodile. Alright, let's go. Reach forwards and up. Taking that arm back behind you as far as it can go. Trying to find any more softness here. So notice if you are gripping and holding. Try and let go. And when you're ready, start to slowly bring that arm back up. And over. Let's do one more time on this side. Reach your arm, stretching up towards the ceiling, twisting your body, and open out. Again, it's the third time, so maybe you can get a little bit closer to the floor now with that back arm. Don't force it. Always be respectful of the boundaries that your body has there. The more you can be relaxed and take some deep breaths, the more release you're going to get through these movements. If you force it, your body's never going to let you get there. When you're ready, start to slowly bring your arm all the way back up and over and close that crocodile mouth. Roll yourself back onto your back now. Bring your knees into your chest. Give your knees a little hug. And just rock gently side to side. We're going to take it into our crescent stretch next. So we're going to let the legs come back down to the floor and we're going to lengthen the legs out long. Take your arms overhead and stretch from your fingertips to your toes, making yourself as long as you can. Now remember, if your head feels uncomfortable here or you're struggling to keep your ribs down, you can bolster, you can grab some cushions and pop them under your head. We're going to walk our legs to the right, so walk both legs to the right, and then you're going to walk your arms and upper body also to the right, so you're kind of in a crescent or a banana shape here. Still keeping both shoulder blades and both butt cheeks down on the floor, so you're in a side bend position. And then if this feels like already it's enough stretch for you, you can stay here. Or if you feel you can take it a little bit further, you can pick up your left ankle and cross it over your right, giving a little bit more stretch down your lower body. If you want a little bit more at the top, with your right hand you can grab your left wrist and just give it a little pull to increase the stretch through your arms, your shoulders and your upper body. Stay here and take some deep breaths. Ribs want to stay down, so if you need to grab something under your head to help with that, then do. As you take deep breaths here, can you feel that left side of your ribcage expand? Really focusing your breath to the left side of your ribcage. Can you feel that expansion? Can you feel the muscles between your ribs, your intercostal muscles? Can you feel the stretch there? Maybe you can feel a bit of a stretch through your waist, through your hip, and down the outside of your left leg. Still trying to be as relaxed as possible. You don't want to be creating so much tension that you can't breathe. And we're going to release the arms first. So release your arms. Let your arms come down just to take the load off your shoulders. We're going to uncross the legs and walk them back in through centre. We're going to do the same on the other side. So walk your legs to the left. Take your arms up and overhead again and walk your arms and your upper body also to the left. Again, you're in that banana or crescent shape. Stay here if you want to, or pick up your right ankle and cross it over your left. And if you want to add the shoulders and the arms with your left hand, grab your right wrist, give it a little pull, increasing the stretch down the right side of your body, keeping the ribs down. Taking those deep breaths, focus your movement of your rib cage on the right side of your body. So how much movement do you have there? Is it the same as when you did the left side? Thinking about the muscles between the ribs, moving as you stretch with the breath. Feeling the stretch through the right side of your waist. Try not to hold on to any tension, so just check in your jaw, your face. Can you soften anywhere? Ready, release your arms. Let your arms come down first, walk your legs back into centre. Moving slowly, we're going to bend one knee at a time. And then pull your knees into your chest one at a time. Give your knees a hug and just rock gently side to side. A little reset, just getting rid of any tension through your lower back, using the weight of your legs. A couple of breaths here. We're going to come up onto all fours next. So when you're ready, come up onto all fours. And remember how we spread the fingers wide. So fingers spread wide. Thumbs point towards each other and elbow pits are forwards. Knees under hips. We're going to do rhomboid push-up. So shoulder blades are going to squeeze together in your back and then shoulder blades are going to go wide. So the movement is really focused around your shoulders and upper back. So it's not like a cat-cow, there's nothing happening with your lower back. So your back doesn't really change position that much. How about if you let your head hang here? So letting your head hang down towards the floor as you squeeze the shoulder blades and then press them wide. Keep checking to see if your your elbow pits have turned to look in towards each other. Try and keep them forwards. as you squeeze and press wide. This is such a good movement for mobility of your shoulders. We're also loading the wrists and the hands here. Two more. And then just come on off your hands for a moment. Just give your hands a little shake out. And a release. We're going to come back onto all fours again. This time we're going to do some shoulder circles. So we did them at the start of the class, didn't we, where we were really exaggerating those shoulders. When you do it in a different position, it completely changes the movement. So let's try it on all fours. Fingers spread wide, thumbs point towards each other and elbow pits are forwards. Okay, so it might take your body a minute to figure it out, but can you do your shoulder circles here? Trying to get as much movement through your shoulder blades as you can. Can you reverse? And it might only make sense to your body in one direction. It's a really strange movement to do. We're going to come down onto our elbows next. So have your palms facing down. Have the same distance between your hands as you have your elbows, and then walk your elbows forwards a little bit, creating a stretch through your shoulders and upper back already. Let your head and your chest drop down towards the mat and pull your bottom back towards your heels, but you're not going into a child's pose, into that rest position. You've still got your bottom up in the air. And just take a couple of breaths here, so stretching through your hands, your forearms, your shoulders, your upper back. So that's kind of the first layer of this movement. And we're going to play around with it a little bit. So we're going to come back up. We're going to bring the elbows back a little bit closer to you. Now this time I want you to turn your hands over. Can you get your fingernails all down on the mat and your thumbs down on the mat and the backs of your wrists down? Now that is really quite challenging. So we're going to do one at a time. So let's have one hand down and then use your other hand to place on top to add a little bit of weight and to allow it to anchor down onto the floor. And we're just going to hold it here for a few breaths. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So the other hand comes down, again try and get your hand as flat as you can, and then use your other hand on top of it to press down, apply a little bit of pressure. Okay, now we're going to do a little bit more of a tricky version of that movement. So we were here before, weren't we, with palms down. We're going to turn them over, so palms are up, same distance between your hands as there is your elbows. Trying to get all of your fingernails and your thumb down on the floor and then walk them forwards a little bit. That might be enough. If you can go a little bit further, can you again drop your head and your chest towards the mat, pulling your bottom back towards your heels, and then just hold. Now notice, if your hands are starting to pull away from the mat and they're trying to face in towards each other, that's just tension, maybe in your hands, your elbows, your shoulders, somewhere. So you're going to keep trying to open those hands out and get those thumbs down as you pull your body back in the opposite direction. Now don't worry if you can't get your hands fully down, just know that that's where you're heading and you're not just going to let them lift away from the mat and face each other. So keep trying to open them out as you take some deep breaths here. And then we're going to come up and out of that. We're going to come off our hands and just give them a little shake out, a little wriggle. We're going to stay seated for a moment, so just find a position that's comfortable for you. I'm quite happy here, but you might want to sit cross-legged or grab a cushion to sit on, whatever works for you. We're going to bring our hands down onto the floor. So I want you to bring your hands down by your sides and have your fingers just touching the floor. Now can you keep your fingers straight, but get your fingertips down and then start to push the palms of your hands forwards. So it's like when we have the elbow tucked in and we pull the fingers back here, we're getting that same movement from the floor. So getting the tips of your fingers down, keeping the fingers straight and pressing your palms forwards. So you're not trying to get your hands flat down, you're trying to create that finger extension and then pull your thumbs as far away from your fingers as you can, giving you a really big stretch through your hands. Elbows are slightly bent, elbows are pointing behind you. And just take a couple of breaths here. Those are tricky. Thumbs are reaching away. Can you circle your thumbs? How about can you reverse and circle in the opposite direction? And then let it go. Give your fingers a wriggle. Give your hands a shake. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of seated work now. So find a position that's comfortable for you. Remember, we're trying to find a neutral pelvis. We don't want to be encouraging that slumped and rounded position. So if you need to grab a block or a cushion or something to sit on, then feel free to do that. I'm going to grab a cushion today. Okay, and then once you're happy, we're going to do a little bit more seated shoulder work. So we're going to take one hand and we're going to take that hand behind your back. Notice this upper arm if it's pointing out to the side, and try and get this upper arm as vertical as you can and as close to your side as you can. Now if you have a lot of tension and a lot of tightness, to get that hand behind your back, you might lift your rib cage and arch your back to give more space. We don't want to be compromising the rest of our body because of our shoulders being tight. So we're going to drop the ribs down and we're going to stay nice and relaxed through our upper body. Just hold for a couple of breaths here. Let the shoulders relax down away from your ears. Okay. Now that same arm, instead of the arm going across your back, we're going to start to sneak that lower arm up your spine. So instead of it going straight across, it's now going to go up your spine. Okay. Still trying to keep this upper arm as vertical as you can. Try not to let it poke out to the side and being nice and open through your chest and shoulders. How does that feel? A little bit more tricky. You might feel it through your upper arm, your shoulder, your chest, your neck maybe. Trying to be as soft and as relaxed as you can. So notice if you're starting to create and hold tension, and try and let that go. Alright, we're going to add one more piece on here, and it might be a step too far. Can you flip your palm? So instead of your palm facing out, you're going to turn it so that your palm faces in. So if you were to see me from behind, instead of the palm facing out, I've just flipped it so my palm is now flat against my back. Now if that's too much for you, then go back to the other one and know that we can work there. We've got all the time in the world to get there. It doesn't have to be today. Very gently we're going to release that arm, super slow, bring it around, and maybe just rolling the arm in and out a few times. There. We're going to do the other arm now. Give it a little shake. Okay. Maybe switching up your seating position if you haven't changed. Maybe cross your legs over the other way if you're sitting cross-legged, or find another position. Arm's going to come across your back now. Okay. Letting your chest and shoulders be open, relaxed, ribs are down. Just taking a couple of breaths here. Letting your body just acknowledge this movement, letting it adapt, release, and just be happy here. You don't want to kind of rush through these movements and have your body getting tighter and tighter. Once you know that you're happy here and this is quite a comfortable position for you, let's start to sneak that lower arm up your spine, keeping that upper arm as vertical as you can. How does that feel on this side? Different? Easier? A few breaths. Shall we add that extra piece? How do you feel about flipping your palm on this side so that your palm is facing in towards your spine? Oh, that really kind of gets in there. So if it's not right for you today, don't do it. Hold in whatever position works for you and just take some deep breaths. And then let it go. Super slow again, turn your arm in and out. Give it a little shake. Give your shoulders a little circle around, just releasing any tightness, any tension. Then can you gently turn your head from side to side, and then just come back into center. So the last movement we're going to do on this video is called the head ramp. So I want you to, let's do a head hang first. So we're going to drop our chin down towards our chest so that you're looking down towards the floor. Shoulders are relaxed down away from your ears, and we're using gravity and the weight of your head to release the back of the neck. So your head is really heavy. It's like a 10-pound bowling ball, and so it's a lot of weight. So we're using it here to traction and release the back of your neck. Now we're going to bring our head back up, but we're going to do this by sliding your chin back. So if you slide your chin back, bringing your ears over your shoulders, you're going to give yourself a little bit of a double chin, but we've kept length through the back of the neck. Let's do that again. Chin to chest. Letting back of the neck relax and release, shoulders down. So we want to keep the length through the back of the neck. We don't want to be creating any creases on the back of the neck. As you slide your chin back to bring your head up without compressing the back of the neck. Let's do that one more time. Chin to chest, looking down, shoulders relaxed and down. And then slide your chin back to bring your head up so that your eyes are on the horizon. You've got beautiful length through the back of the neck, no creases, no compression there, and then just relax. So that head ramp exercise is a really, really important exercise. If you have that rounded head position, if you're kind of on your phone or you're working in that forward position all the time and you've noticed that your head is kind of forwards, or you might notice that at the base of your spine where your neck and your upper back joint, if you like, there's like a pronounced bump there. That's your 7th cervical vertebra. It's the last of the cervical vertebra and it is more pronounced than the others. But it shouldn't be a huge lump. It shouldn't be a really big bump there. So drop your chin to your chest again. Find that more pronounced area. I'll come a little bit closer so you can see. Maybe. Okay. So you're looking for this bump here. Can you see on me how base of the neck, top of the back, a little bit more of a pronounced bump. So find it on yourself, chin to chest. And then we're going to bring your head up by sliding your chin back, and if you keep your hand on that bump, it kind of almost disappears. Yeah, and then just do that again. And you're trying to get your spine in really good alignment so that you haven't got that kind of rounded upper back position. And this is a great way to create really effective change in your upper body straight away. So what most people do when they're bringing their head up is they just lift their chin, and you can see how it shortens the back of my neck. It's creating creases there and it's emphasising this area. So we don't just want to be hinging at the head, we want to think about ramping the head up. Alright, so next time you are driving or you're sitting on your computer or you're at work and you catch yourself in that head forward position, think about bringing your chin back, ramping your head and creating length through the back of your neck. Let me know what you think.